So Jeanie MacPherson is most known, she's most known for being Cecil B. DeMille's scenarist. She was his screenwriter, but she was so much more, but that's what people know her as, so that's what you have to introduce her as. She was an actress first before she was a writer, she was a director, she was a producer, she was a pilot. She was a suffragette, she held office in Burbank, before Burbank was anything. She acted in more than 147 films. In 1913, she started working with Cecil B. DeMille because she walked into his office with such gumption, and he was like, okay, fine. But then in 1915, he decided, no, you're only with me now. So she started working with him. That's when you can assume they started having an affair. And she was making the most in 1928 of any writer at Famous Players Lasky. She was making a very respectable $1,000 a week in 1928. She wrote more than 50 films, including King of Kings and the original 10 Commandments, which Cecil B. DeMille then used the structure for that to do the 10 Commandments we all know. But she made Cecil B. DeMille, and I have no qualms saying that. She also, when she wasn't writing, she was researching. She had a hand in every single one of his major hits. At least half of his works are connected to her, and they were all hits. She also, at some point in 1933, stopped being with Cecil B. DeMille. She went over to MGM, freelanced. She wrote this film that buoyed MGM, basically saved the studio, and it was with Laurel and Hardy. So she also wrote comedies. However, the reason I chose her was because she had all these credits. It seemed easy. I live in LA, I can go to the Margaret Herrick Library, I can read her stuff. I didn't have an in. So as I was Googling her, yes, Google, she has 7, maybe 8 pseudonyms, all different spellings. None of the dates are the same in all of the articles that you find online. She may be 54 or 61 when she died, we don't know. And she even had male pseudonyms, so I couldn't figure it out. Her mom has 4 different names. I didn't know what was going on. At one point, I found an article from 1899 from the Jeweler's Circular where her mom was caught stealing the equivalent of $4.2 million worth of jewels. And I was like, this is the end. This is it. Jeanie was with her. She's reported in the article as being with her. And so essentially she grew up in this lifestyle where they had to keep up with the Joneses. And these themes are throughout her work. So she writes about strong women, this crazy work ethic. She put herself in, the mental hospital working so hard, which wasn't that actually uncommon back in the day. She wrote about greed and redemption, marriage and infidelity. She did not really believe in marriage. And women are often overpowered sexually in her scripts. And I was able to find all these themes by learning about her life. And the horribly sad thing is that in 1954, I believe, Cecil B. DeMille is on record saying that Jeanie really didn't write this stuff. He came up with the ideas, and he let her put her name on it. But if you know the person, you find their themes, it's there, her voice is consistent. And I think it's really important to keep these voices alive.